What's going on, you guys? Foster, and I'm back with another video. Today I'll be giving you guys my top 6 junglers for the last patch in this season. If you guys enjoyed this video, please do make sure to click that like button right below. Now without any further ado, let's get right into my top 6. Coming in at 6th place is Kane. Kane is a very versatile champion due to having 2 different forms, which allows him to adapt very easily to every single game. The biggest thing with Kane is the fact that you can't really ward against his ganks since he can come from all angles due to his E ability. If you get ahead early on a champion like Kane, it will be really hard for the enemy to actually come back since he snowballs really hard. The biggest problem with Kane is that without his form he loses a lot of his power, so you have to be on top of getting your form as soon as possible. Coming in the 5th place is Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai is another champion that is really hard to actually ward against since her E ability can cut corners that most champions can't, which means that her ganks can be really hard to deal with. This ability makes it quite easy for Rek'Sai to snowball, and if you build her damage early, you'll be able to go in from a weird angle and completely one-shot whoever your target is. The main problem she has right now is the fact that she can get kited fairly easily. This is also the reason why Blue Sun is pretty much the best option in most games. Coming in at 4th place is Khazix. With a lot of early game focused junglers running around right now, Khazix is one of the only champions that can effectively deal with them. His isolation damage pretty much gives him the upper hand in most 1v1s against the enemy jungler. And if you can shut down an early game jungler, it will be really hard for them to actually get back into the game properly. So really try to watch where the enemy jungler starts and fight him, since you will likely win and put the enemy behind. Coming in at 3rd place is Jarvan. Jarvan is one of the few champions that has a great early game when it comes to ganking, but at the same time builds quite tanky. His EQ combo is the main thing that will make his ganks really strong early on. Even if the gank doesn't result in a kill, you should always be able to force a flash out of the enemy laner. Because the only reason the gank failed is that the enemy flashed the combo, or you missed it, I suppose. Besides this, he also has quite a lot of teamfight presence later in the game due to his ultimate. If the enemy doesn't have a flash or a dash and you catch one of their squishy targets, they will be 100% dead. And if they get out of your ultimate, it will still deal a shitload of AoE damage. Coming in at 2nd place is Nitta Lee. Nitta Lee is the only AP jungler on this list, which makes being able to play her quite important if your team decides it wants to go full AD. The only other viable AP pick for this situation is Elise right now, and while she isn't bad, she is nothing compared to Nitta Lee in the early game. Nitta Lee's power lies in the fact that she can clear her jungle camps like no other, which means you'll easily rack up a lot of gold and experience. Plus, if you track the enemy's jungle camps and take those away as well, it is going to result in an even bigger lead. She clears her camps so fast that it almost looked like she didn't even farm them from the enemy laner's perspective, since she can just always be there to gank. The main problem she has is that she absolutely have to land her spear to successfully complete a gank 95% of the time. And she does fall off later in the game when it comes to team fights, but this is where Chalice and Arden come in to be able to sustain her ADC and give a massive attack speed boost and insane heals. And then coming in at 1st place is Ezreal. Ezreal is pretty much the best jungler you can play right now, even though his jungle clear isn't that great. His early ganks with red buff are absolutely insane. If you gank a lane with a red buff, you will most likely get the kill or at least the enemy really low, which puts them extremely far behind and makes it hard for them to come back into the game. If you get any kills on Ezreal early on in the game, it is pretty much over already since that champion snowballs like no other. At the same time, Ezreal is an ADC type of champion, which means that he does not fall off the longer the game goes on, he actually gets stronger, which is really unfair if you think about it. Now, for the honorable mentions. First up, we have Sejuani. Sejuani used to be an absolute monster in the jungle, one of the highest win rates out there, but since this patch she got quite a big nerf, and as of right now I'm honestly not sure if she's that viable anymore. Only time will tell, I suppose. But for this reason I put her in the honorable mentions. And then for the last honorable mention we have Warwick. Warwick is a really good tanky jungler to pick in solo queue right now, since with his hunt ability he can quite easily counter gank any lane because he gets there so fast. Also, if fights get close and targets get low, you'll be able to swoop in easily and clean it up. Besides this, you also have a great sustain in the jungle, and with Tiamat you'll also have a really good clear speed. As far as early ganks go, you're able to fear people. If you connect this to the enemy, they are likely to either die or burn a flash. The reason Warwick isn't in the top 6 right now is pretty much because the other champions are slightly better, but I'd for sure give him the 7th spot if there was one. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please do remember to hit that like button right below. If you'd like to see more videos from me in the future, then hit the subscribe button as well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!